Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The Out West, the Out West Art Show and Sale. It's been 3 days, Tim.
I know.
I'm a little tired.
I'm with you.
I'm a little tired.
It's almost time for a nap, so
Yeah.
let's get this done.
I agree. Okay, fine. I sense the.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, yeah, good to have you here. Have a good one. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh my gosh, Tim Blueflint in the house, and let me tell you something. We were just talking. Frankly, we've already tried recording once, and one of our microphones, and it wasn't yours,
Wasn't mine.
it decided not to play nice with us. So we've already been catching up a little bit. But the frank thing is, Tim and I, we haven't seen each other in a year, and we're only just getting to see each other now after 3 days. That's how busy this show has been.
It's been crazy.
It's been insane and a blessing.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been nonstop. I mean,
Yeah.
between auctions and quick finishes
Yes.
and more auctions
Yeah.
and people running through, and
Yeah.
it's been incredible.
Yeah, but I agree with your
Incredible.
statement that we were saying. This show continues to amaze.
I mean, not only the show, because the show's a very successful show. It's always been good for me.
Yeah.
But just the talent,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, these people bring it every year
Yes.
after year after year, and it's just better and better and better
Yeah.
and better, and I'm just blown away,
Yeah. Yeah.
just blown away.
So we were talking about the idea that there used to be 110 artists or more, if not. There was a
We
number.
used to have 120 rooms.
Yes. So let's say 140 artists, I think,
Yeah,
maybe, because
I
we've
think
seen
that's-
people double up on that too.
Yeah.
To then cut down to 83 this time. So it's a big cut. We miss our friends. 100% miss our friends.
100%.
But the reality is, you're still here. And so, how do you
Whew.
feel? Yeah.
Like when I walk around and I look at the art that's being presented out here.
Yep.
How do I feel? I feel very, very fortunate to have made the cut.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
And poor Chip, I mean, and the organizers of the show.
Yes.
I mean, it had to be just heart-wrenching for
Yes,
them.
yes.
Because we've become a family,
Yes.
And even though we're a family that only sees each other maybe once a year.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, so maybe it's like Christmas celebration.
I agree.
And you
Yeah.
say, oh, yeah, only half of you can come this year. Mm-hmm. We ran out of chairs. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it is. It's sad. You miss everybody. But mostly you miss seeing, how they progress during the year. And it's also a time to check in. It's
Yeah.
like, how you doing? How's
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. We miss the people that aren't here.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward to hopefully some changes that are coming down the pike
I
to the
agree.
show,
I agree.
and be able to bring everybody back again.
We've heard some very positive things about the future of this show. And I've been saying that very carefully without saying too much, because we're in an ever-changing space. But right now we've received some very lovely information that basically says we have a long way to go.
Right.
And that's lovely. We needed that.
It's lovely. It's exciting.
Yes.
It's all about good times ahead.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I firmly agree.
Right.
Now you're saying right now jewelry's the big hit this show so far, huh?
Jewelry's been really, really good. Flutes have been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been constant. Talking to people, and and it's just been amazing, as it always is. But you've been busy too.
I'm having a lot of fun. I really am having a lot of fun.
Because last year when we were sitting here,
Right.
we had a conversation, and it was off camera.
You're not allowed to get me emotional for you, just so you know, Tim.
It was off camera, and you were actually making this big transition into becoming a full-time artist.
Tim, this is supposed to be about you. It's not supposed to be about the interview.
Well, okay, but I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that because we had this conversation, and it reminded me back when I made the transition out of corporate
yeah.
to be a
yeah.
full-time artist.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Yes.
There's a lot of unanswered questions.
Mm-hmm.
You're running on a ton of faith.
Nothing but.
Yep. And you're trying to you're trying really hard not to let, the shadow of fear creep in.
Yeah.
And just keep going.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, because I've lived through that.
Fire away.
How has it been for you?
Oh, man. Oh, man. First off, thank you. Because, frankly, yeah, we're not talking to the camera. Oh, man, you're making this tough, Tim. The interviewers don't get asked how they're doing.
Well, I'm asking you because I'm a fan.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm incredibly blessed right now. So I'll be honest with you, and please follow along for the ride. I was working corporate. I was doing all of that stuff and everything that we talked about last year, and I decided, after talking with my wife, that it was time to bet on myself. And the bet was one of two things. One, I love doing videography. I love being in front of the camera. I love doing this. I love being behind the camera. I love telling stories. I love sharing legacies. And so my theory was, I want to try to make that full time. Mm-hmm. But then on top of that, I had a gift that I had practiced and I'd put into effort while working at Disney World for 10 years.
Right.
And I was realizing that no one else in Montana was drawing caricatures and offering to do it for events or weddings or whatever. And so I just threw it into the universe, and I'll let God take control, and I have been nothing but blessed. And I get contacted from people that doesn't make any sense on why they would even begin to know anything about me. Right. And every day is an incredible adventure that does come with anxiety, but I love that anxiety more than I've ever loved any job in my life.
Well, you know what? It's because it's your anxiety.
Thank you.
Not anxiety that corporate America is putting on you.
Precisely.
And there's a freedom in that.
Yes. So in the last year, frankly, I had a very good friend of mine who's a tattoo artist, and I've never thought about getting tattoos in my entire life. And it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, the last 3 or 4 years have been really rough. Really rough. And I've been growing a lot, so I want to remember that growth. So this, which, and I can't tell you, I can't tell you who.
Look at you, dude.
I'm not allowed to tell you who. But I will tell you that a very, very gifted and talented classical artist who doesn't want his name known in the tattoo world.
Right.
Sat down with me and spent 2 days.
That's good work.
It's incredibly beautiful work.
Yeah.
And I wanted him to do it because he is a classical painter. And so because of his background in that, I was like, I want to be...
So it was Bob Ross did that?
Yes, thank you. You finally figured it out. The afro hair kept getting in the way, but what do you do?
Yeah, you got to keep a hairnet on.
Yeah. But being a fan of his work and being a fan of art in general, I didn't want just a general tattoo.
Right.
I wanted to be the canvas.
Right.
And he did such a phenomenal job. And this is several pieces. This was done by one artist, and then this was all done by my friend. And it reminds me, it's my identity now, and I love it. But it reminds me of the hard times, the growth out of them. And as some of us rebels do, and I've never been much of a rebel, it's my signature that I don't want to go back to corporate ever again.
Right.
And because corporate makes you cover this stuff up, and you get to take ownership of it.
Once you make that leap.
Yes.
And it's a leap.
Oh, yeah.
Once you make that leap, I don't know how people go back to turning the key for somebody else. I really don't.
If it ever comes back to my wife where she needs me to go back, I'll go back.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll go back.
No question.
But right now,
I want somebody else to open the door first.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
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 That's so great. I think you know. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure how many of the other artists know how great an interviewer you are. You really are.
Thank you.
It's just a super easy conversation, and it's relevant, and you you're really good at pulling stuff back, and then you're just killing it, man. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Frankly. Now I know how they feel. I get them in the chair. I make them uncomfortable.
I wasn't trying to make you feel uncomfortable.
No. Honestly, it is really a blessing. I've been an interviewer on radio and in this platform and many other platforms for many, many years, and it's beautiful to get to know people. Mm-hmm. But they never get to know you. You know, they do. They do.
I don't know.
You know?
I got to know you pretty well but then
Yeah.
I kind of interviewed you last year too.
Yes,
didn't I?
yes, you
I
did.
forgot about that till just now.
I did too, actually. I did too. I'm gonna go back and watch that one over again. No. It's lovely that you asked the question, because honestly, right now, my testimony, everyone has been walking up to me and they're like, "Tim, it's so good to see you. How are you?" And I'm just trying to keep it in and just say, I can't say I'm anything but blessed.
Right.
My wife let me quit. And let me take away every bit of security I've ever offered her.
And supported you every step of the way. What a woman you have.
That's an understatement.
That's such a testament to your relationship.
That's an understatement. And okay, so yesterday I woke up yesterday and I was feeling miserable. I wasn't feeling well.
Right.
I came in, we had a wonderful day yesterday, but the whole day I'm feeling absolutely terrible. I'm talking with Karen Young and Ray Young, 2 doors down. They're dear friends of mine out of Kalispell.
Right.
And they're going, "We think that you are dehydrated." And I'm going, I've been on a diet now for 3 months and have lost 38 pounds. And
I was going to say.
I'm doing very well, but I think I've walked myself into dehydration.
Because I was going to ask you where the other half of you was. And I wasn't talking about your wife.
Anyway, the thing is, so yesterday I texted my wife, and my wife is a nurse, and she works at Benefice, and so I text her, and I'm going, "Honey, out of curiosity, do you happen to have any saline at home by any chance? You know, anything, to rehydrate me?" And she goes, "Yeah, you okay?" And I'm like, I'm feeling really, really bad today. I go home, she hooked me up to a needle in my own bedroom and got saline in my body, and she's rooting for me, and "You got this, and go get them." And
coconut water.
Oh yeah. I need to. I'm still chugging water. Like I had like 12 bottles of water yesterday.
Yeah, but coconut water too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that got all the electrolytes and stuff in it?
Yep.
I'm up for that, because the stuff that they suggest where it's all salty.
Oh, it's nasty.
Nasty. So anyway, no, I'm doing much better today. But as you say, a testament to my wife, who, what's really crazy now is she looks at me and she's smiling. And the other day we went and talked to a financial advisor about retirement and stuff like that. And she goes, "I've been married to you for 11 years. Now when you are doing your own job, making your own money, now we're doing this after 11 years." And
she's got a point, right?
she has an amazing point. She has an amazing point. And I'm just sitting there going, I know. And she's going, "But we're doing good." And so every time I can bring her paycheck home, that came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Who knew? That camera that we're looking at right there came in the mail 3 days ago, literally, just for the show, just in time.
That's awesome.
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. So it's been quite a journey. And
I remember when I made that switch.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was in 2008 when I went full time. And I don't know if you remember what the economy was like back then.
That's when it fell.
That
That's
was
when it
the
crashed.
bubble burst.
That was the whole crash.
And
it was miserable.
I left my almost 20-year job.
Yep.
And decided that I was going to try and make a living as a flute maker. I didn't even do jewelry then, it was all about the flutes.
While you're talking about it, can I see it? May I touch it?
Sure.
He brought one, and I wanted to look at it, and please, let me say it.
And I was not married,
Yeah.
and so I'm working without a net.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
But I think, like, when you're talking about tattoos, if I was going to have like something tattooed on my forearm to keep looking at all the time, you know, it's a mantra that I had from day one, and it's faith, not fear.
So true. So true.
Faith, not fear.
So true.
It seems simple.
Oh no.
It's so not simple.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
not simple.
you know, when you start running out of notches on your belt, you know, because you're skipping a meal here and there.
Yep. Yep.
But you know, it's just like you and I are right now. I mean, you know, it's about developing relationships, and it's time. And you know, like they say that, you know, as a jeweler, there's no substitution for time at the bench.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
if you're going to get better, you got to put the time in.
Yes.
And I think that's really true about anything.
I agree. I firmly agree. What's that? Your 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours.
To be a master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so right now I'm just trying to master thriving, because I'm the money's not crazy. It's not great. It really isn't. But here's the thing. It's all my legacy. It's all me.
It's not always about the money.
Right. Right.
I mean, you know, my grandmother used to say, and she was a silversmith, as you know. She used to say all the time to me, you know, there's no shame in making a good living doing something you love.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And I've always remembered that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you don't work hard. Doesn't mean that you're looking for handouts or you know, or expecting something for nothing.
Yeah.
But if you really conduct yourself in a way, and in a positive way, and you communicate well with your clients and collectors and the people around you, and the people that you hold close,
Right.
you know, then
You'll be rewarded for your hard work.
yeah, I mean, you make your own reward.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Really, but it all starts internally, you know, before it can ever manifest itself externally.
Yeah. I agree. This is beautiful, man. This is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
My father-in-law is a knife maker, and so I used to record tutorials of him making knives, and I used to sell those tutorials online. We still do, but haven't had a chance recently. And so I'm looking at this the same way that I look at one of his knives. I'm looking at your balance between your edges and your bevels here, and it's so clean. It looks so good. It looks so good.
Thanks.
Now, is that a resin fill? What is this filled with?
No, that's not a resin fill. So, when you're making flutes, the one thing you don't want are holes where they shouldn't be. Right?
Yes.
And so, I do a lot of work with exotic woods and burls and things like that. And you're going to have natural inclusions.
Right.
And if you look how thin the walls are of this flute, right? So in a lot of cases with curly woods and with burl woods, things like that, the wave of the grain is actually wider than the thickness of the wall. So it's a really super, super slow process. But with a piece like this, what I have to do is I'll cut a billet that's square, however long, and then what I have to do is I have to carve out all of the inclusions. So I carve all that out, and then I inlay it with a mixture of epoxy and usually just wood shavings.
Wood shavings.
You know,
Okay, that makes
crunch
sense.
it down, and then build it back out to
Yep.
the layer, right?
Yep.
To the edge, and then bore it,
Yes.
and then turn it,
Yeah.
and then hand sand it and do the final shaping and things like that. And then what I have to do is I have to go in now and recarve out where all that sawdust
Oh,
is
good
laid
point.
in.
On the inside.
No, actually from the outside.
Oh, because you bored it. Yes. Okay.
So you're going to carve it all out from the outside and still try and maintain, you know, the original grain structures and things like that and the patterns. And then this is inlaid then with Mediterranean coral.
How cool.
Yeah.
How cool. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And so clean, too, as you're going between wood grains without any kind of beveling there.
Well, that's what I try to do, you know.
Takes practice. 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about it the other day, Tim, and I mean, back in the day, when I was like just getting started, I was making like 60 flutes a month.
Serious.
I busted my hump.
Whew.
You know, I mean, that was day and night in the studio, just working. And, you know, now I'm 20 years older. Okay? You're not there yet. you're still much younger than I am, but now I make probably 80 to 100 flutes a year at most. And I'm loving it because I'm spending more time on each one.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is if I ever had to make 40, 60 flutes a month again, I couldn't do it. It's too hard on my body. So I'm just spending a little more time with each piece. And
That's why you start off young. That way you can do it in your youth, and then when you get older, then you can chill out a little.
Well, and I didn't even, I came to art, pretty late in life. I mean, I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing how blessed I am and how quickly my career built, and I mean the wonderful people that you meet along the way, and you cultivate friendships, and you maintain relations, and your clients become your friends, and your collectors become your patrons, and it's an amazing ride, and you're gonna find that too as you go through it.
Yeah. I think there's still a couple hours left over that I got to go through still, but the journey is so beautiful right now, and
Right.
and here's the truth. Even if God chooses to make the journey not as pretty, even if things start to go a little rough, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Well, let me tell you something that I learned a long time ago, and I don't share this often. Okay. But when I made the switch to become an artist full time, it was because there was a lot of things that were happening in my life, along with all of the external things.
Right.
And one thing that I learned is that as bad as things feel in the moment, there's always something to find that you can be grateful for. And as you start to recognize those things, no matter how minute they are, as you start to recognize them and celebrate them, they grow. It's like watering a plant, right? Plant the seed, water the plant, and that every little bit of gratefulness makes that seed sprout and grow. And I think the most important thing is, because we're in the people business, right?
Yes, we are.
I think the important thing is that you find a different version of you. It's stressed, just like this wood, with the burl wood. That starts out as a sickness in the tree, and it stresses, and then over time the tree heals itself, and as it heals itself, that's when the true full beauty of the wood is recognized and created. And without that stress, we would never know the full potential of not only the wood. I mean, that's obviously a metaphor, but we would never know the true grit and the true beauty that we have within ourselves.
Truth.
And you're killing it, man. You're killing it. I'm proud of you.
I'm having a good time. I'm having a really good time.
Well, you should be.
We are having a really good time.
Yeah.
So,
well, we always do.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope you guys enjoy this little definitely look behind the scenes.
This is not where you wanted to go.
On the Tim and Tim show. No. I'll be honest with you. This is exactly where I wanted to go.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Wow, good.
Absolutely. Because I'm a selfish punk as well. I want to share my story too. Absolutely.
And you should.
I'm a small bit of narcissism in there. So
you celebrate it.
Yeah. And so, but I think that's what we're all doing here. Because frankly, we're all self-employed. Some of us are about to make the leap to become self-employed. Some of us have made the leap and have seen the beauty and the terror in it, but still, why would you do anything else, So
you talk about you got to have a good support network.
Yeah.
At home and professionally.
Yeah.
And one of the things about what we see out here and the people that they've curated for their show, I mean, really, it's giants.
Yes.
Like we talked about
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
It's walking among giants. But
Yes.
but the incredible thing for these young artists that are coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and they may or may not realize it, but there is, number one, a whole room of unbelievable talent.
That's ready to support them.
And that's the thing.
Yes.
It's also a room of mentors.
Yes. Yes.
Because we want to bring up that next generation, and we want them to be
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. I believe
And better human beings.
Yes, I believe a good legacy, and my goal, that was the original goal for the podcast, the legacy cast, was that I was going to capture legacies one way or another.
Right.
And so a good legacy is passing on your knowledge to someone else,
Absolutely.
and you being remembered because of what you passed on.
We're only as good as what we leave behind.
Precisely. Exactly.
I really believe that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're a product, and we're a product of the people before us. Mm-hmm. So it becomes our responsibility to keep the way open and actually enhance the way for those people coming up behind us.
I agree.
I really believe that.
I agree. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right, brother. Good to see you, man.
Thanks for coming on the show.
I'm so proud of you. You're killing it.
Thank you. I'm. The journey is just getting started.
Well, yeah, it's always a new day is a new beginning. And it's a long journey.
And just thankful that we have people in our life who are ready to go along with it.
We got to persevere, buddy.
Yeah.
It's all going to be good.
Folks, when you watch this, the show will be done. And that stinks.
Man, already?
Yeah, I know.
Dang it.
It stinks. And the thing is, it goes by so quick because we work all year to prep for this, and the show is done. But here's the thing. I want you to be inspired for 2026, 2027. Because as much as possible, if it's our choice, we'll be back. And as long as we're allowed back, the opportunity... We cause trouble.
Who are you talking about?
If we are allowed back in this lovely place among our lovely friends, you will find truth here. You will find kindness here. You will find compassion here. And you will find art here that you cannot leave without taking it with you. And just... I want you to be excited for that. And that's what this is. So as our social medias continue... We want to continue to show you that the blessing does not end in 3 days. It continues on.
Oh.
And then we want you to get so excited as we get for this moment. Because this moment is what we thrive on.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, right now what we're doing is we're building fuel to be able to carry us through to next year until we get to all get back here again.
Yes, exactly.
And you take that fuel and you process it creatively and effectively, and the next thing you know, boom, here we are again. Man, it snuck up fast.
It really kind of did, though.
I know.
It really kind of did, though.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was in Phoenix in 81-degree weather watching baseball and doing a show,
Yeah.
And I mean, I was like having to come into the museum at 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, long before the show would open, because I was doing live TV spots for the museum,
Yeah.
And then...
Did you play your flute for them?
Maybe not.
I hope so.
But then I got interviewed by the New Yorker magazine.
Oh, very nice.
Right, and
Very
then
nice.
they came back and then they recorded me playing flutes and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm sure that I ended up on the cutting room floor, and I'm good with that, right? But my point is, when I said in the beginning, you're a great interviewer. It feels natural. It's just a conversation. You're one of the best that I've ever interviewed.
Well, it's because that's all I want. I don't want it to be an interview. And frankly...
Well, it's not. It's just a nice conversation
Right.
between friends.
Well, and the thing is, the question comes up a lot. Well, why don't you take the camera and go into someone's room and film them in their room and do the interview in their room? Because they're too comfortable there and they're too much in their sales mind there. So my desire.
That's a good point.
My desire is, and we did it this year. I brought my easel from home. I had them bring a piece, but I wanted that piece behind them.
Ah, gotcha.
I want you to be in a space that's neutral. That way you're not selling. And then
Right.
And then we talk, and then we turn. And as soon as I've always mentioned the art, I can see them switch back into sale mode for a moment.
It happens.
And then we change and we come back to each other, and I watch them break from it. And I go, this is what makes this special, because they don't want salesmanship.
Right.
They want heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want heart. They want a story.
Yeah.
They want part of the experience. And I've often said, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've thought about it a lot. It may be true. I like to think it's true. Sort of. Maybe. Kind of.
Kind of.
But, the people that are here, I think that there's a certain amount of mystery. There's a little bit of mystery about artists and how they see the world and how these pieces are created. And I think that they spend their hard-earned dollars to try and grab a piece of what we see and what we experience. And I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. And again, we talk about being grateful. That's something that we have to be grateful for, you know? I mean, to be able to do this for a living, it's a ton of work.
Oh, yeah.
But it's an unbelievable privilege that is granted to us each hour, each minute, each day.
Can't believe I'm here. Can't believe I'm doing it. Really, truthfully.
Right? I get it.
That's it.
You interviewed my sister, DG, and I used to tease her for years because who else in their third grade, when they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to paint blue bears, right? And could make a living. And I don't know if you haven't been in the room yet, but she came out with this new, these new little miniatures. And it's called
the butts.
The bear parts.
The bear parts.
And I told her, I said,
She loves those things.
I know. And I told her, I
amazing.
said, only you.
Only you.
Only you could make a living painting blue bear butts.
But let's be real. Her attitude
Oh, she's amazing.
Her attitude will always sell her work.
Absolutely.
Always. Her
Because
spirit
people
is so
buy
huge.
people.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, they probably tell you when you're, signing on at Disney. I mean, it's a universal thing.
It is.
People buy people.
Yes.
And people want connections. And we're in a world right now where,
There's not much
connections
of
are
that.
sometimes hard.
Yeah.
And I think that art, music, things that affect your senses, those are the things that become the great equalizer, and they level the playing field.
Yeah.
And they allow us to meet each other where we are.
Truth.
Not where we think we should be or
Truth.
where we think that people think we should be. It's where reality exists.
Yeah. And you know your reality. You know what you're called to. You know what you're feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My friend, it is always the greatest pleasure to see you.
Thank you. And thank you.
And to have a moment to sit and chat with you.
Thank you for your very kind words. Truthfully. Truthfully. I appreciate it.
They're heartfelt, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's enough wind blowing up my skirt. I'm good.
I ain't blowing nothing, buddy.
Well, except flutes.
You're 100% on occasionally. Been accused of it.
Well, I'm glad jewelry did well for you this year. Where do people go to see your work? They probably clicked off long by now, but where do they go?
Ago, yeah.
Where do they go to see
Oh,
your
wait,
work?
I got to switch back into sales
I know,
mode.
yeah, get in there,
hold
get in
on.
there.
TimBlueFlint.com. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you're on it.
Have I followed
Remember
you?
when I interviewed you last year?
I'm going to have to refresh my memory.
It's on there.
I'm sure I followed you. Anyone who's on YouTube, if you tell me you're on YouTube, I follow you instantly. So,
Right.
yeah. And the thing is, I cleaned out a bunch of my old YouTube subscriptions. So if I saw Tim Blue Flint on there, I would have
Oh,
kept
yeah,
it.
you would have thrown me in.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance.
I wouldn't blame you if you did.
Not at all. So what do you do
get
on
it.
that YouTube channel?
There's a lot of interviews, different things like that. There's some pretty cool things on there that were done during COVID.
We were all video makers in COVID.
Yeah, one of them is a deal that I did with the Idle Museum in Indianapolis. And a really, really super great friend of mine and we did a collaboration together during the pandemic. And she lived in Santa Fe, and I was in Northern California. And the whole podcast is, what are the challenges of doing a collaboration during a pandemic? And we talked about that for a long time, and some other interviews that I did where we were talking about, okay, we're in the midst of COVID. What are we gonna do? And I talked a lot about how this is the perfect opportunity, like, to reset, to re-hone your skills. But the main thing was to work your butt off, to be prepared
when it's all over.
Yeah, because the success was going to be there.
Yep.
It's just postponed.
Yep.
So you better be ready because it's going to happen. It's going to happen fast.
Agreed.
So there's that, and there's a lot of flute videos, playing different flutes. There's a couple concerts that I did on there.
I have seen a couple of those.
Have you?
A couple of those, yes.
Did you see the one with the symphony?
Yes, that might have been the one, because I know you and I
Yeah.
talked about the symphony. I feel like there was one of you playing in front of a building at some point in time, but don't quote me on that.
There's a lot on there.
Yeah.
There's over 100 videos.
I knew I was curious.
There's even one fishing video on there.
Really?
Yeah. I've got where I live. I live on the lake, right?
Yeah.
And so there's two things I really, really love to do. I love to fish, and I love to work in the studio. And sometimes they will wrestle with each other, And if the wind's not blowing, typically fishing's going to win for at least a couple hours. And then I just work late to make up the time,
Nothing wrong with that.
And no, because it's where I really go to rejuvenate, refresh.
Right.
And it's kind of a Zen thing for me. And but I also have where I live. It's a lot of retired people. I mean, I think I'm like the only one that has like the semblance of a job.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we sit around, a bunch of old guys sitting around, and you got professional bass fishermen and guides and stuff like that. So literally we sit around and we just lie to each other, pretty much, But one of my buddies wanted to do a video on winter crappie fishing on the lake where we live, right?
Sure.
And so him and another buddy of mine that was a crappie guide, they were going out to do a video. And I get a phone call, and Ed, the crappie guide, goes, "Hey, we gotta put some numbers in the boat today for this video. So, I need you to grab your stuff, and we're gonna come pick you up. We're gonna go catch a bunch of fish." And we did. We went out and we caught, I don't know, 150, 175 crappie.
Wow.
Probably a couple hours, and yeah, it was great. And it's all catch and release.
Sure, but still,
because we want to sustain the resource.
That's good. That's good fishing to me, though.
Oh, it's a good time. I mean, that means that we probably caught, because of the size of the crappie at the lake that I live on in the winter. That means that we probably caught probably 250, 275 pounds of crappie. I know.
Son of a gun.
It's insanity.
Son of a gun.
It's insanity.
Wow.
But if the people that really know me, and my clients know too, it's like I don't answer the phone when I'm out fishing.
Yep.
But I think on there too, there's I did a presentation at the Herd Museum for their guild society and everything, and the president of the guild, who has become a wonderful friend. Jane introduced me, and I did not know this was going to happen. And she's standing up there, and of course there's the big screen behind her and everything, and they're flashing the images up there. And she said, "And in case you didn't know, click, there I am with a fish." Click, there I am with a fish.
Oh,
Click, there I am with a fish. And she said, "He really enjoys fishing too." Click, there I am with a fish. So I'm a little bit
my
a little bit
word.
of a nut. But
Seems like people know you a little too well.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's such a thing.
That's very true. That's very true.
You know, I think the more that you know somebody, the truth actually really comes out, and you really see their spirit and their character, and I think that's why we're such good friends. I can see your spirit, your character, and appreciate you.
I kind of wear it on my shoulder a little bit, don't I?
A little bit.
All right.
My friend, I have to go back to work.
Yeah, I should probably go interview some other
I
folks.
appreciate you so much, though.
I appreciate you too,
and I'm
Tim.
so happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
And please give my best to your wife.
You hear that, wife?
Hear that, wife?
She didn't watch this all the way through. I
No,
love
of course
you.
she didn't. Of course she didn't. Why would she? Now, if it was just you, of course she would have. Yeah.
She surprised me. She said she watched 2 of the videos of the show so far.
Oh, well, then she's burnt out.
Yeah. And I'm super proud of her for getting through 2 videos of mine.
Good job, wife.
Good job, wife. Oh, folks, thank you so much for watching.
I'm sorry I didn't get to see you this year.
Yes. Come by and see him next year, and next year, and next year. And praise the Lord that we get to say that we get to come back one day.
Well, God willing, the creek don't rise, right?
Exactly. We'll see you next time, folks. We love you guys. Bye.